Hey guys, how's it going? It's Craig, and this is the Spirit of Vinyl. How we doing this weekend? Hope everybody's having a great week, and your weekend's coming to you, and you got some good plans. Friday night, just mixed me a little drink. Thought I'd get on here talk about some records. So, hope you guys are having a great time. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Been watching a lot of videos and some cool threads and stuff, and really enjoying everybody's content out there. Sorry as I rearrange here. So I just thought I'd get on and say hi like I always do. Hope you guys are having a great week. All right, well, I'm going to get started. Usually I show, I'm a rock and metal guy mostly. You guys know that if you watch my stuff, and, I tend to show a lot of that. But I thought today I would kind of go a different route. And you'll see what I'm going to show here. I just kind of randomly picked some stuff just to show off, and realize some of these I haven't listened to in a while, so I may have to remedy that this week as time goes on. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So basically, you're not really going to see any metal at all today. So how's that sound? All right, so I'm going to start off right here with this Adamant Viva la Rock. This is not my favorite Adamant album. This is there's your track listing right there, if you guys can read that. And this album is from 1985. Adamant's Viva la Rock. This is he's starting to wane in popularity at this point in time, and this is not one of my favorite of his albums that I own. I really dig Adamant, and this is still a good record. He's looking pretty cool right there on the front cover. But this one doesn't stand out as much to me as the first couple that he did as a solo artist anyway. But like I said, there's the inner sleeve. Got a picture of the band there. You can tell by the front cover and his look right here. His style's changing. The makeup's gone. The jacket's gone. There's all the lyrics kind of jammed on that sheet right there. And it's on Epic. It's just the classic Epic label. God damn, sorry guys. Kind of losing what the hell I'm thinking about here. But that, Adamant Viva la Rock, it's a good record. It really is. But I prefer like Prince Charming and those type of records instead. So, all right. So the next one I'm going to show, basically all this is going to be like 80s pop type music, new wave and stuff like that. So here's Missing Persons, Rhyme and Reason. Boy, what year is this? This is from... That's really freaking small right there. Manufacturer, bam, 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 1984. Dale Bozzio, lead vocals, of course. This is, there's your track listing right there. This is a really, really good record. Really, really great stuff. Missing Persons was a very cool band. Here's the inner sleeve on that one. It's got lyrics on the other side. And it is got the capital rainbow label on it. So if you guys don't, Missing Persons is a very cool band. And Dale's story, her story of how she becomes the person that we know, is fascinating. If you get a chance, I listen to a podcast. Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins has a podcast you can stream on any podcast app called like The Magnificent Others. And if you go back like a year or so ago, he interviews Dale Bozzio, and she tells a story about Frank Zappa and everything else. It's a very fascinating story. Just kind of an amazing woman, and how, she just never said no and made it and just did it all on her own, and wasn't even planning on being a singer at all, and just ended up with Frank Zappa, and he kind of put her put her to work in his band. She's on Joe's Garage and all that stuff. So, yeah, very cool. If you get a chance to listen to it, give it a listen. I highly recommend that episode of that podcast of The Magnificent Others with Billy Corgan. All right, next up here, Culture Club. This is Kissing to Be Clever from 1982. This has got really, Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? I'll Tumble For You. Those are the two hits that were all over MTV back at the time. There's the rest of the band right there. Boy George, of course. Still got the inner sleeve. It's definitely got some fading on it overall. This album is, like I said, it's from 1982. There's your label on that one right there. So what can be said about this? I mean, when it comes to Culture Club, I ignored this band all the way through. Of course, we didn't really ignore them. They were just there. And Boy George was all over MTV, and Culture Club was all over MTV. And they were kind of the antithesis of what I stood for at the time. So we wouldn't be caught dead listening to this. But as I've aged and I started getting into this 80s music that I ignored the first time when I was a teenager, I really do enjoy this record. It's actually very good stuff, very talented. So, Culture Club's Kissing to Be Clever. All right. Men at Work, Business as Usual. This is the one that's got Who Can It Be Now and Down Under on it. This is probably their most popular selling album. This is also from 1982. I've got the inner sleeve here. There's the lyrics on the back side. And it is on the regular red Columbia on the label on the inside. So this is also like super heavy cardboard. Some of that early 80s stuff is really heavy duty. This thing weighs a lot, it seems like. It feels like it's made out of a box or something. You can see the sleeve is kind of beat up a little bit, you know, ring wear and everything else, but it plays very well. When I saw this at the record store, I had to pick it up. I want to say I didn't give a whole lot of cash for it. But it's a fun listen. Pretty good band for what they were doing at the time. It fits the 80s just perfect. And, you know, Who Can It Be Now and Down Under? I mean, those songs are just, you know, great songs. And the rest of the record is also very, very good. So they're actually a pretty good band. Looks like they had a lot of fun back in the day. So, yeah, Men at Work, Business as Usual. You can probably find this for $5 at your local record store. If you get a chance, pick it up. All right, next up. This is something I bought because of you guys in the vinyl community. Roxy Music. This is Siren. Somebody was talking about Brian Ferry and Roxy Music. I want to say it was probably Mike at MGK Boston. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick up some Roxy Music. So I did. And I've got Siren and I have Manifesto, or the two that I have. I think I got Manifesto first. There's the back of that. Brian Ferry, like little pencil drawings and stuff. This album is from 1976. I think it says 6. It could be a 5. If you look right there, I got some water damage on the bottom, and it kind of makes it hard to read. So it has the original inner sleeve, which is one of these cool inner sleeves with, you know, pictures of other albums they have for sale. Like there's a Roxy Music record right there. Been trying to find that one. That one's a little hard to find. I think it's because of the cover. Most people do not want to sell it. This is on Atco Records, the yellow Atco label. And, you know, what I could say about this is I was, you know, like I said, I want to say Mike. I can't guarantee that, but it probably was. This is his style of music. Well, some of his style of music anyway. So when I got my first Roxy Music album, I was just like, holy crap, that is so good. I mean, I had no idea. You know, I mean, there was a band I'd obviously heard of. They've been around since the 70s, but we never listened to them back in the day. I didn't know exactly what I was picking up when I got Manifesto first, and then I bought this one, and I really do enjoy this. This is just very cool stuff. So, yeah. So I really do enjoy this record a lot. So Roxy Music, Siren. Next, I know I've shown this before, but I just randomly picked stuff today. This is the Thompson Twins. Here's to Future Days. Love is the Law is probably the biggest hit on this, if you want to call it that, or the song people would know. This was a little bit later. This is after the Hold Me Now things. This album came out in, let's see. I can't see a date in the back, and I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'll figure it out when we pull out the record. So, the Thompson Twins, you guys know me. I first started buying Thompson Twins stuff here a year and a half ago. There's your Arista label. Has a sticker on it that said it was $1. I did not buy it for $1. I actually spent $5 according to what I have here. But this is a band I just, I started buying some of that 80s music that I was ignoring. And I bought the Thompson Twins album that had Hold Me Now on it, because that was the big hit. And I just loved that record. And I bought other things. And now I have all the Thompson Twins albums. This one's not necessarily one of my favorites, but that song, Love is the Law, that is a great song. So I think they're really good. I want to say there's one more after this where this man leaves the band and it's just these two people, and it's not quite as good as their earlier stuff, honestly. So much better off as the trio that they were rather than when they became a duo later. And I want to say the duo, I think they're a husband and wife couple, if I remember correctly. But don't quote me on that. I did not have an inner sleeve with that record, so that's why I did not show that. Okay, Eurythmics Savage. Same thing with the Eurythmics as it is with the Thompson Twins. I bought the one that has Sweet Dreams on it, realized how good that whole record is. I started buying other records, and now I have all of that early Eurythmics stuff. I didn't go all the way through. This one's from 1987. There's your track listing on the back. Probably nothing that really got a whole lot of radio play by then, but very cool stuff. Annie Lennox, yeah, she's got hair on the cover of this. It looks completely different than she did when we first saw her with the Sweet Dreams video with the buzz cut and the orange hair. Inner sleeves here. Yeah. The thing about the Eurythmics, like I said, it was the same thing that I did with the Thompson Twins. There's the label on the record right there. Got their own special label, RCA. Once I got one, I just kept buying them. And just so much talent. She's got a great voice. And I want to say his name is Dave Stewart, if I remember correctly. And he writes and composes all the music, and just a very, very good band. I noticed this one on the back. This is a UK, printed in West Germany. So before the fall of the wall, when things were had to be listed as West Germany instead of just Germany. And there's your different prices of what they came out when they came out in. So pretty cool. I got this use. I bought this at my local record store. So, but this is a really good album. All their music, with the Eurythmics, they didn't change a whole lot. Some of the styles slightly different, but they don't really change from record to record. So you kind of know what you're getting, and just whether you know the songs or not, but as you listen to them, just really good stuff. Just like beautiful music all the way around. Okay. Here's another band, the Motels, Little Robbers. This is got Something Last Summer on it. And there's the back of it right there. And I really dig the Motels too. Just very cool band. There's the lyrics on the back. There's your inner sleeve right there. you know, she's very pretty. That's all I gotta say about it. Just very cool. You know, the front cover here looks like it's, you know, like she's dressed like it's the 30s or something, but this is very 80s. Not sure of the year on that. I'll have to look here real quick. Let's see here. It is also on Capitol Records. It says 1983. It is the classic Rainbow Capitol Records label. But yeah, this is a very cool record. Like I said, Something Last Summer is probably the biggest hit on this. But the whole record is just killer, just great stuff, just that cool 80s sound. That, I don't know if you call it post-punk, new wave, or whatever you want to call it, but I really enjoy that band also. Okay, and here's another band that I kind of went crazy for. I say it had the hype sticker still on it when I got it. $2.99, limited supply. It was probably in a discount bin. It actually was in a discount bin. That's why it's got the $2.99 label. This is the Tubes Now. And there's the other side right there. It's got your song lyrics on here. This is kind of this is one of the later Tubes album. There's your inner sleeve. Got pictures of the band. And what can I say about the Tubes, man? I mean, these guys, this is a great freaking band. These guys are great. You know, same thing with the Tubes. You know, I buy the album that's got, what was it? Their biggest hit. Oh, it's right out of my head. It's not on this record, so I can't even look it up. But I ended up just buying all of their stuff. You know, I just loved the sound so much. It's such a cool band. You know, looks like there's 4, 6, 7, like 9 or 10 people in this band. And just the sound and the strings and She's a Beauty. Sorry, that's the name of the Tube song. I bought the one with She's a Beauty on it and listened to that. And they were just so good and so talented. Just so many people and just making great music. Just great American rock and roll. And I was kind of hooked, and I ended up buying all of that Tubes music. A&M Records. It's unfortunate about the Tubes. You know, they were around for, what year was this? This album is from 1977. And really their biggest hit is She's a Beauty, which happened in the 80s. And then they just kind of went away. And because, I don't know if it was about their sound just kind of being at the wrong time, or what it was, or just so much talent and the record company didn't know what to do with them and how to promote them or whatever, and they just kind of faded away. I've read up on the Tubes. Their story's a very cool story also. So give them a listen if you've never listened to the Tubes. If all you know is that one song, you need to listen to more of it, because they are way more than She's a Beauty. That's for sure. And finally, I'm going to show Elvis and the Attractions, Get Happy. This album is from 1980, and I bought this based on, let's see, hang on just a second. There's the inner sleeve on this record, and it is just on your regular red Columbia label on there. So I bought this Elvis Costello. I think it was actually, I bought this one. I bought Elvis Costello on a recommendation of watching somebody here in the vinyl community who I'm not sure, can't remember which. Might have been Mike again. I'm not sure. But, and I wasn't too sure if I liked it or not. So I bought another run, and then that's when I got this one. I bought this one to, like, okay, I'll listen to a different Elvis Costello record to see if I really like the sound. And I'm not sold on Elvis Costello yet. And I need to give this more spins. This is one of the records when I was randomly pulling them out, like, well, I haven't listened to that but a couple of times. So after I'm done recording this, I will play this again and see, because, you know, a lot of people talk about Elvis Costello and how great of a songwriter is. And, you know, he's part of the zeitgeist of that time frame. He really is. I mean, people know who Elvis Costello is. And I had never listened to him. So when I listened to it, you know, I was like, okay, maybe let's buy another one and we'll see, you know. And I was like, okay, maybe. So I'm not quite sold on this yet. So I'm not going to, you know, give you any of that. Oh, he's great and everything else, because I don't know, because I'm just not sold yet. So that's Elvis and the Attractions, Get Happy. I'll be spinning that tonight to give it another try in my head to see if I enjoy it or not. So, and if I can get more, then I'll, you know, if I start liking it, I'll buy more Elvis music. So that's all I pulled out for the day, just to show that I'm not always just hard rock and heavy metal all the time. I do have a different side. You know, I like punk too also, so, you know. So yeah, I thought I'd just pull these out. Like I said, I just randomly went to that section of the shelves. You know, I break up my collection by genre and then alphabetical order. So I just went to that section of this, what I call like the 80s pop, new wave sound or whatever. You know, you can call it post-punk, you can call it whatever you want. You know, that section, and I just like randomly started pulling stuff out and just kind of moving along those couple of shelves. So that's how I ended up with what I showed today. So thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. You guys all have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you all later, man. Have a good one out there.